Good morning to all of my friends, my family, my supporters, my listeners, everyone who believes in the Uplift show with me, easy breezy like Sunday morning, but not so much believing in breezy, but those of you who believed in Brianna. And I want to thank everyone for their support on last night, as I was one of the very, very blessed recipients of the Women in Business International Honors Award plaque. Can I say that? Wait a minute. So thankful and so grateful. And I spoke a little bit for a couple of minutes at the event last night at the Gala Center. But of course, always in hindsight, you go back and look at things and realize you didn't get to say half of what you wanted to say. And because I was really so caught off guard, there were so many things that I didn't say. Even though I really don't remember everything that I did say, I know there were some things that I didn't say. So firstly, I want to thank again everyone who came out to support me: Elder Stephen Malloy, Dr. Eric Holmes, Sister Leslie Johnson, First Lady Patricia Miller, Pastor Deborah Burris, and of course my mommy, Miss Cynthia Williams. I am still very overwhelmed. My heart is still full, because this time, even just last year, I was lost and just swimming. I was on what I call sometimes autopilot. I went to work, I came home. I went to church, I came home. But there was really nothing to sustain me in either one of those places. I was just doing what I was supposed to do at the time I was supposed to do it, because that's what I was supposed to do. But I wasn't really feeling anything. And it had taken so much for me to, how do I put this? Family, I was on my way out. I was this close to just packing up and moving to Savannah, Georgia. And I still might do it one of these days, but I just felt there was nothing in Maryland for me. My job wasn't really fulfilling me. I have no family to speak of, meaning no husband, no children, no home, nothing that was keeping me solid here in Baltimore. As a matter of fact, there was really nothing keeping me at all. And I was about to go off in search of something. I don't know what the something is, but I was going out in search of that. But just before I made that move, God said, no, I've got some things that I need for you to do. And the next thing I knew, my life blew up. But in the midst of my life blowing up, I got quiet. I stepped away from all the things that I was wading through and just stopped and listened and let God speak and work and move. And here I am now, not even close to where I'm going to get, but so much closer than I was before. I'm not talking about any kind of financial success. I'm not talking about business success. Those things are icing on the cake. They're wonderful things, but I'm talking about my place in God and my place in the kingdom. I never thought I had a place before, but now I do. And well, it's not even now that I do. I always did. I just didn't know it. And there are so many people that God has placed in my life to help me understand and recognize that. So I recognize, of course, again, those people who were with me on last night, but I want to give a couple of other special thank yous. Again, to my bishop, Robert Johnson, and my pastor, Jacqueline Faye Saunders Johnson, who were not able to be there. They wanted to be so badly, but they were already committed to something else. But those two people of God, they reside in a place that is only reserved for them. Especially my pastor, who has seen me through so many things that other pastors, other ministers, other leaders, other parents would just say, you're too far gone, there's nothing I can do for you. But she never let me give up. She never gave up, and she never let me give up. So, Pastor Jackie, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I thank you so much. My sister, Robin Green, who also was not able to be there, her children, my babies, Natasha Ann Marie and Donald Frederick Green. Auntie loves you. I talk about you all the time. I talk about you so much that people think you're my children. I am very proud of you, and I love you, and I thank you. There's one, well, no, let me do this first. For my UpLIFT show family, my engineers, James Powell and Shanda Jones, my co-host, Sherelle Thorne, the Minister of Fun. Thank you all for being a part of this success, for being a part, not of the UpLIFT show, but for a part of Brianna. For our station owner and manager and big man in charge, Antoine Jefferson, and Miss AGR, Kay Jefferson, thank you for seeing something in me and giving me a shot when I had no idea what I was doing. Thank you very much for that. I love you and I appreciate you. But there's one person that I want to acknowledge, and that person belonged to this ring right here. See, I wear this almost every day. This is an onyx ring. This was my grandmother's birthstone and my grandmother's ring. I had the absolute honor and privilege of being her primary caregiver the last couple of years of her life, which is a small sacrifice considering that she spent 30 plus years taking care of me and the whole family. My grandma, Dorothy Foster, was the embodiment of matriarch. She took care of everyone, and I'm honored and privileged to be able to take care of her for a little bit. There were so many things that I wanted Grandma to see me do and accomplish and be before she went on to serve the Lord full time, but I'm thankful that I got another cheerleader up there who's leading and guiding and in the stands going, that's my girl, that's my girl. I miss you, Grandma. I love you. And thank you. Thank you. There are some people who have been behind the scenes and don't even really care to be acknowledged. And those are the people that you know really got your back. When they're not there because they want to be seen, they're there because they love. You all know who you are. And I'm just going to leave it at that. As Pastor says, I'm not going to start calling out names because I will inevitably forget someone. I want to also thank especially those who weren't there and maybe didn't even want to be there. By the non-support of the non-supporters, they give me more room for those ones who really, truly, and do love and support me. All the haters, I have to give this quote from my girl Vicky Wine, and she says, I love haters because haters make me greater. And for those of you who love and for those of you who are haters, I love you anyway. And I thank you for your negativity, which pushes me towards positivity. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Lastly, I got some words for that old bald-headed devil. I want to tell you something, devil. You thought you had me. You thought I was gone. You were just about to drive that last nail in my coffin, but the Lord stood up and said, get your hands off of my daughter. Because you see, family, I really should not be here. By the world standards, I shouldn't be here. By medical standards, I shouldn't be here. By psychological and mental, emotional standards, I shouldn't be here. And there's so many times in my life when I tried to ensure that I wouldn't be here, but God stepped in and said no. But God stepped in. And devil, let me tell you something. You should have killed me real quick because you made one big mistake. You beat me till I was half dead. But if I'm half dead, that means I'm half alive. And as long as I'm half alive, I have another chance. I have tomorrow, and I have the next day and the next day and the next day. And God kept giving me tomorrows until I got to today. Devil, you are a liar. You are the author of confusion. And I promise you, there is no place for you in my life anymore. I'm moving on. I'm moving up. And I'm sure people can hear, I got a little music going on in the background. Just to remind me of who I am and whose I am. And devil, I can be real tough when I want to be. I'm a bad chick. And see, I'm about to come down. And I'm going to kick open the gates of hell. And I'm going to storm those gates. And I'm going to bust up in there, and I'm going to take back everything that of mine that you thought you had locked up somewhere in your safe. Well, guess what? I got the key to the safe. When the Lord died, when Jesus hung his head and died on the cross and said, "It is finished," he went and he took that key and he gave it to me when I accepted Jesus into my heart. He gave me that key, and I'm going to take that key and I'm going to go into the devil's safe. I've already started picking the lock. I've been picking the lock, but now I truly have the key, and I'm getting back everything that he has stolen. I'm taking back my finances. I'm taking back my health. I'm taking back my mind. I'm taking back my spirit. I am taking back everything that the Lord has prepared for me that I was too far gone to realize was there. But guess what? I'm in my right mind. I'm in my right spirit. And I intend to be everything that God has for me to be. I promise you that. I promise the devil. I promise the Lord. And I am not a woman that I should lie. And I believe the word of God where he says he is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. And whatever God says is so is so. He has already given all of us the tools to make it. We are the ones to lead this world. And it starts right here. As Michael Jackson once said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. And once we look in the mirror and we heal ourselves, then we can begin to heal our families. When we heal our families, then we can begin to heal our city. Once we heal our city, we can heal our state. Once we heal our state, we can heal our country. We can heal our nation. We can heal the world if God's people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray. Then God will see from heaven. He will hear our cries. And he will deliver us from the hand of the evil one. Ladies and gentlemen, in this day and age, in 2019, we are truly living in the last days. Everything has come out of the closet, but we, the people of God, have been continually pushed back in. But I tell you what, people, it is time for us to push back. It is time for us to take what has been promised to us out of the hand of the enemy. So whoever is with me, whoever is going to stand beside me, or even if you feel like you need to stand behind me, then you come on with me, because we are going to take it back. We are coming out of this with our hands up, not our hands up in surrender, but our hands up in defeat as we blow that enemy right out of the water. I'm sorry. I got a little excited right there. But I do want to leave you with this as a last thank you. You know, every single week on my show, I always give you an uplifting thought. And I didn't prepare one, but I want to give you one that is constantly on my mind and in my heart by Maya Angelou, who says, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. And as long as this is my part of it, as long as we keep God number one, we will not be defeated. There is no weapon that is formed against us that shall prosper. We've been fighting the wrong type of battles, my family. We have been fighting against flesh and blood. But how many of you all know that the battle is not with flesh and blood? No, it's not. Once we get our focus and fight the real enemy, there's no stopping us. And I thank you for letting me drone on now for 15 minutes. And as I always say at the end of every show, I beg you, get love, get peace, get wisdom, get understanding, and above all, get lifted. I love you all much. God bless you.